Alright friends, well I just got off the phone with a 6-time Vans aircraft builder, getting ready to be a 7th-time builder as soon as he gets his RV-15 kit. And I talked with him at length on the phone for a while and shot him a bunch of pictures, and he solidified that my fears are unwarranted when it comes to this spar stack-up. And in fact, he's going to be on his way over here later today, help me with the rivet gun and give me some tips and some pointers and kind of just take a look at things for me. So not sure if we'll see him on camera or not. He may be a little camera shy, that's okay. But I will take you over here to the workbench and show you what he told me, right? So the first thing that he told me was stick a bunch of clamps in this thing and that will probably squeeze together that area of concern. And so I did that. And I'm going to go a little bit off the tripod here to help get a better picture, so excuse the shakiness for a minute. This area between those clamps is what I was concerned with, right? And so before I had put all the clecos and the clamps on there, I had maybe about a 20 thousandths gap that was present. And I thought, man, it was just a little concerning because it looked a little bad. Now that I'm with all those clamps in there and in place, I'm actually down to less than 10 thousandths of an inch gap. Okay friends, it's now about 1:30 on Saturday, and as you can see I have made very little progress. But the good news is the person who has stepped up to kind of act as my technical advisor stopped by today for a great visit. Very informative, helped me out in this area here with those questions that we had about the gap and the bends in the HS810, the 702, and that doubler piece. So feeling good and confident about that. Gave me a lot of tips and pointers of what we have going on right now, as well as some advice on some things to come. So really glad that he was able to stop by. Really appreciate him making the time out of his day. He did try to lure me away from the shop today to go flying because it is a beautiful day, probably 60 degrees outside, clear, gorgeous day for flying. And I haven't been up in the air for a while, so that was a very tempting offer to have to say no to. But I really did want to make some more progress in this garage because wing kits are going to be here in a little over a month. So I really need to get working on this and make some headway. So that's it for now, I guess, from the commentary side. I'm going to get to work here. Again, still working on cleaning up the edges of these ribs and things, making sure that they're sitting flush. As you can see, this one's got a little bit of bend in it. So that's what we'll be doing for the rest of the afternoon. Well, here is the less exciting part of airplane building. What you're going to watch is what I did most of the day in very high speed for your viewing pleasure, is cleaning and prepping these ribs. So there's a lot of work that goes into this, and it is very mundane and very boring. So you can see I've got my lawn chair there. It's just kind of a get comfortable and do the thing because it has to get done, and it has to get done right. There's a lot of importance in this when it comes to smoothing out these edges, relieving the stress risers, and removing all the tooling marks. So we'll get into it in a little bit more detail as the video progresses. So you may be wondering about my shirts, as you always see me, or often see me, dressed in Boeing apparel. Does Boeing sponsor my channel? No, not directly anyway. I am a Boeing employee, if I haven't mentioned that previously. So I have no shortage of Boeing swag and shirts and sweaters and hoodies and things. And I would say they indirectly sponsor my channel with the paycheck they give me, which funds or helps to fund this project. You may also notice on my shirt that I am frequently covered in dog hair, specifically from a German Shepherd. I have a little German Shepherd puppy, and she's a sweet dog that's hanging out in the front yard with me here today. So if you hear some barking, that's where that's coming from. And if you ask Gary, Paper Gary, what he thinks about German Shepherd hair on a shirt, probably one of his favorite things. He's not against that at all. In fact, he had a German Shepherd, which was his best friend for a long time, and is fully supportive of dog hair covering clothes. So if you see me here with a little bit of dog hair, it looks like I've just been rolling around on the ground with a dog. It's because I have. Okay, so you have heard me mention stress risers several times. Anytime that you cut metal, whether it's by shear or by a punch or by mechanical means such as a saw or a cutoff wheel, you're going to leave some kind of burr, and that is a deformation of the edge that you just cut. And when that happens,
That deformation, there are areas of stress risers in there where the part, when it's under load or under tension or compression or torsion, whatever, it's going to focus that stress to those areas and it becomes a weak point. And it is the place where cracks will begin to propagate, whether immediately or over the years. So we do all this process to remove that burr, to remove any machining or tooling marks, and to make a nice smooth edge so that we're not focusing rather any stress in these areas that will cause cracks to occur that will have to be dealt with later by either stop drilling or putting a lap joint over them or some kind of means to go rectify this situation later, because we can now take care of it at this point in manufacturing.
Okay, so as we're working through these ribs, we are squaring things up, right? So making sure that the flange is perpendicular to the web of the rib. So as you've seen with my little machinist square, I'll go by and check all these things. And these flanges look pretty good, but these end ones are at a significant angle. So these end flanges are at a, if you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but they're at a bit of a significant angle, right? And they are not drilled. So that tells me that these are going to get match drilled upon installation. And I don't know if this angle is there by design or not. So I'm not going to worry about squaring up those end flanges. And I am also not going to worry too much about fluting, doing any kind of fluting with the fluting pliers to straighten these things out, because I don't know where the holes are going to end up when I match drill to the skin. So for that reason, I'm going to kind of leave these be. They're pretty straight now. They're not too terribly bad, and there's no real adjustment. But what I wouldn't want to do is go hit this with a fluting plier and then find out that I got to put a hole right where I hit the fluting plier thing from. So that would be no good. So we'll just leave those as they are and keep going.
Okay, so I didn't get a really good camera shot of the fluting plier, so I'll try to explain that to the best of my ability here. The fluting plier is kind of a neat tool, and you can use it to control, let's say, the curvature of this rib. And it does that by, you'll see me here using the fluting pliers, it does that by putting like a little bit of a crease in that flange area. It's very smooth, it's not a sharp thing, so it doesn't cause any damage to the part, but it puts like a nice little round bend in there, and that pulls the webbing side of that rib in an inward direction, right? And so if it's curved a little too far out, you can put some of these fluting things in there, squeeze it just a little bit, doesn't take much force whatsoever, and it'll start to draw that part back to straight. And that's what you'll see me doing for part of that video there with those fluting pliers. And if you do too much, you can take the seaming pliers, which flatten things out a little bit, and push it back there, and it kind of goes back to straight. You can also use your hands for some of this too. It's not too hypercritical, but you can use those things. They're pretty malleable, and form those. Now, what I'm getting into here is a little bit of measuring on these ribs where I have to go drill some flanges. And so in accordance with the drawing that they have up there, they have a dimensional spec that I'm measuring and transferring onto one of the flanges, which I will then go drill as I start to assemble this skeleton. Now, this is the start of where I don't want to say things go bad, but they certainly slow down in progression. And this is also a point in the day where it's pretty late in the afternoon. I've been out in the garage all day. It's about 4 o'clock at this point, maybe. And I'm starting to cleco together this skeleton. And so this is the horizontal stabilizer, front spar, the rear spar, and it is connected by an end rib, which is there on my left, furthest away from the camera here, I guess closest to Paper Gary, and then an inboard an inboard rib and a leading edge rib. Now, I didn't really quite pay attention to the directions explicitly and take apart that whole rear spar, which I should have, and I think I do later on. But anyway, I'm clecoing this thing all together with the end goal of clecoing on the skin, and that's what the instructions say. The instructions say, just cleco on the skin. Well, it doesn't fit. So the skin comes pre-bent, and the ribs are supposed to fit down into that leading edge. And man, I struggled with it, and I was fear of damaging the metal because it's kind of digging in there. So this is kind of where I called it quits for the day. My outro isn't all that great on this one, so I will say thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other. Jeff and Paper Gary out. We'll be back for some more, and we'll conquer this skin thing.
Okay, folks, I'm gonna break for dinner. Probably go watch a T-Flight video or That Hippie Pilot to see what they did when they riveted this skin on. It's hard to imagine how far up these ribs get with the bend that comes in this skin. So, see you in a little bit.